basketball game Friday. My tire's giving me issues. We barely have enough gas. We barely have any money.
I'm going to ask for some grace, in my opinion here. It's not really my opinion. It's kind of like a thought that I'm going through. I'm saying this as I'm thinking it. I hate that anyone's going through any hardships. On her video, people actually sent her money to help her out. I'm thankful for that. I think that shows kindness in people, which I think is an amazing thing. Here's my question. I see people say all the time that like your kids shouldn't know that you're poor. Because one of my thoughts was like, your kid doesn't have to go to basketball. Like I think sports are one of the best things for kids, especially like underprivileged kids. But it's not a necessity. Like if it comes to food or basketball game, food. Do we think it's actually hurting the way that kids are raised by insulating them from knowing that your family is poor?
So my buddy here poses a very interesting question and something that as a father, I pondered for years with my two older kids. Let me explain. So with my two older kids, they never really understood the level of poverty that I experienced as a child. My level of poverty was there were crack vials outside of my home when I was all the way up until I was like 8 or 9. I grew up in the South Bronx. Yeah. During like the crack epidemic, okay, like the 80s. It wasn't the best of times. We were poor, very, very poor. Over time, my parents learned the ways of the land, obviously, and we were not so poor. We were very much lower middle class to like very maybe like top of the lower middle class level at some. But my kids never got to experience that. And it is a question that I have pondered for a very long time on whether or not I did a disservice by not having them struggle as much as I did. My answer to that now that they are adults is kinda. I can see the very stark differences in terms of drive and motivation in my son and myself and my daughter and myself. But I think that ultimately boils down to a little bit more of personality types and architects of their own development than it does me having them struggle a little bit more because I came from poverty and they came from like middle class America. So it's not like they're lazy, but they're motivated completely differently. One is much more motivated by building kind of his own small little empire and his own little storyline. Obviously my son, because I'm saying he. And my daughter is more driven by a level of not wanting to disappoint and wanting to achieve things on her own. Neither of those have anything to do with my motivation was I never wanted to be poor again, ever. Like in that example, the lady talks about her son going to like basketball and like them eating. Like my parents would always choose the food, but I only experienced baseball, duh. And I didn't experience any other sports until I got to high school and I kind of just started playing basketball on my own. My son has been in